Greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. It is your girl, Adina Gittin Smith, the co founder of Belly Dancers of Color Collective. I'm so happy to be here today with a tea time with a very amazing sister, Khuzuma Lavender. We're having a Bellydance Veil Feminine Fire coming up this Friday. And so we're going to be talking to her about the beauty of belly dance and what that means and how veils are for all. She's teaching a workshop this Friday at Joe's Movement Emporium, which is in Mount Rainier, Maryland at 7 p.m. So stay tuned. Here's one information coming up about Belly Dancers of Color. And then I'm back. Okay, here we go.
Discover the joy of movement and sisterhood with Belly Dancers of Color Collective. No dance experience? No problem. All bodies are welcome here. Let's heal together. Connect with your sacred feminine essence in a safe space filled with love and support. Join us for belly dance, yoga, and mind, booty, and soul events.
Greetings. Like I said, I have the lovely and talented Khuzuma here with us today. Welcome to the stage, sis. How are you?
Hi, Adina. I'm wonderful. It's so good to see you. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for bringing me on.
Yes, thank you for agreeing to work with us and do this wonderful, artistic, sensual, feminine belly dance veil workshop with belly dancers of color. We are so excited. It's always wonderful to bring in additional energy to help us as we progress in our artistry and our performance and all the things, all the things. But before we get into all of that, I want to talk about you. I want to talk about the name. Let's talk about how, and see, I have my purple on and my purple lip in honor of your lavender. So let's talk about how you came to be known as Khuzuma.
Okay, so I have been, and it's the way I pronounce it is Khuzama, and I have been Khuzama now for I actually just recently counted. It has been 20 years.
Wow.
So 20 years ago, I was kind of new in the belly dance world. I had started taking classes with a few teachers in the Philadelphia area. And at that time, it was common for people to take on a stage name. And at that time, I was just getting my footing. I was buying my first little starter costumes and getting into the world of performing. And a friend of mine and I decided to put together a sword choreography. And in the process of doing that, we decided to come up with a name for the group. And as I was searching for a name for our group, which I don't even remember what it was now because we maybe used it once. I was searching and found the word Khuzama in like the random Arab names book for women. And I saw that it was the name for the lavender plant in Arabic. And I was like, ooh, lavender. I love it. So I picked up that name about 20 years ago now and have held on to it for dear life. And it really represents who I am. Everything around me is purple, always.
Nice.
So it's always some shade of purple that even if it's just a small piece, I try to wear a lot of different colors today. Then everything I owned was purple. But today I still try to be a little more creative with the colors and things that I present myself in. But once in a blue moon, you will still, not even once in a blue moon, you will always find some hint somewhere on me in purple, even if it's small and not as obvious.
I
So yeah,
love
that's how I
that.
became Kuzama.
A belly dance name. I love that. I love that. 20 years ago. So you mentioned that you were in Philly. Did you grow up in Philly?
Yeah, so I am from West Philadelphia, born and raised.
In the
As,
playgrounds where I spent most of the
yes.
days.
So being from West Philadelphia, that's where I started a lot of my performances. I grew up, born and raised in Philadelphia. When I first started belly dancing, I was taking classes with a instructor named Habiba. and eventually started taking class with a wonderful lady named Valerie Rushmere, who does not teach belly dance anymore. And we I was part of like dance groups there. I taught lessons at Studio 1831 for many years. And I eventually moved to where I'm at now, which is Wilmington, Delaware, which isn't that far from Philadelphia. So I could kind of still claim Philly, but I am a Wilmington habitant of the Wilmington area now.
Okay. Okay. Were you a dancer prior to joining the belly dance troops? Like did little Khuzama, am I saying it right? Khuzama, was little Khuzama a belly dancer at heart always? Were you a little girl dancing with the shirt on your head or the towel and turning around and you know, tell me about little you.
So I have been at least I've wanted to dance probably as long as I was able to walk and talk. I begged my mother to put me into ballet classes. So when I was probably about 8 to 10, 12 years old, I took ballet, tap, the usual. I took the ballet, tap, a little bit of jazz, and I went to this cute little school called Satin Slippers in West Philadelphia. I did it for about 2 years. However, I'll never forget. I struggled with attention. I probably have some undiagnosed attention deficit disorder going on. And if you know me, people they're like undiagnosed. Are you sure? But when I was in classes in ballet classes, I struggled with paying attention because they felt so very slow to me. So they were, in first position doing point, 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 and I'm like spinning around in circles and running all over the place. So I got pulled from ballet relatively early in my life because my mom's like, if you're not going to be paying attention, I'm not paying for this.
Right.
So I would make up my own little dance routines after that. So I participated in like little we had block parties in Philadelphia. I'm assuming you guys probably had that in your area too. So we would have block parties, and I would be part of like the little groups where we would do like a little fashion show. We would do some singing. We would do some dancing. So I've always been kind of into dance in some way, shape, or form, even when I wasn't in a formal education side of it. I also was a cheerleader when I was in high school. So I've
Okay.
always drill team, cheerleader, always found ways to find myself back into dance. But I started taking dance classes as a belly dancer as an adult, and I have fell in love and just haven't stepped away from it since.
That is beautiful. I can relate to that so much. I'm from Chicago originally, and I was the kind of kid who would gather all my friends together and perform, get the adults together and perform our routine with them, So I can visualize you as a little girl dancing and performing. And then when you add cheer to it, yeah, it all fits why you would be doing it 20 years in the future, going forward with that. That's awesome. How would you, oh, so 20 years now, how would you describe your dance style if you were to think about yourself as a dancer? And, you don't have to get deep and philosophical unless you're really feeling that. You can give us 3 words because those who come out on Friday, November 7th, are going to have the ability to experience the wonderfulness of you, the loveliness of you, and expand. So tell us what they're going to get to experience from you. What would you describe yourself as?
I would describe myself as a I like to delve into many different worlds. And one of the things that we as belly dancers, for the most part, know is that we have many different stylizations within belly dance. So instead of giving you an answer, I'm going to give you a much longer
Okay,
version.
I love it.
When I first started dancing, my first teacher, as I explained, her name was Habiba. She was an Egyptian, probably more of a what we call cabaret style dancer, American cabaret style. That's probably what I would say is my roots as a belly dancer, so to speak. However, I've always moved into many different directions. So I have a lot of desires, especially when I was early in my dance career, to dance to music that just felt good at the moment. So I've done a lot of fusiony kind of things. So I've danced to a lot of R&B music, to a lot of hip hop music. I dance to Turkish music, Lebanese music, Iraqi music. I really love how we can take our experiences and marry it to the origins at the same time. But it's always been important to me, especially as of recently, to make sure that we very much understand what our roots are and to make sure we understand how important it is to know it, to understand it before we break a lot of the rules. So when we do this class on Friday, we're going to kind of delve into some different areas. We are going to start off with the tradition and understand how we use veil traditionally in Middle Eastern Egyptian style dance. But then we're going to take it and use it to be more expressive and speak to ourselves. So that's what we're going to be doing on Friday. And I'm really excited. I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Uh, for sure, we're gonna have a lot of fun. I can't wait. One thing, as a belly dancer of color, and we're Belly Dancer of Color Collective. I remember meeting you at Art of the Belly probably 10 years ago. We were backstage and just talking. It's like, and I was so excited to see you. Like, where are you? Like, where you're like, I'm in another state. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh wow. It was just wonderful to see someone who's been in the craft and performing at a high level and have been doing it for years. Where there were times where you couldn't really find images of beautiful black belly dancers who are
Yes.
celebrating ourselves, doing our thing. It was an archetype that didn't really look like us. So I really appreciated meeting you a decade ago and being with you now. I want to know a little bit about your journey and how you navigated that whole piece. When I'm sure it has its own difficulties and things in itself. I mean, I just know it does. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Ooh, that's a lot. I feel like that could almost be that's like
It
an
could be.
entire conversation in of itself. So I'll do my
It
best
really
to be
could be.
brief. Ooh. So let's see where to start. So we'll start off with belly dance as a color because many, many years ago, one of my first experiences, actually not even one, my very first experience with seeing dancers that looked like me was with Belly Dance as a Color Association some years ago. And I went to the festival
Okay.
probably back in 2006 or 7, I think was the first year.
So that was our original
And
teacher. You know that we were born out of
yes,
that movement. Okay.
yes, yes. So I went to the festival many, many years ago and was like, wow, look at this beautiful person, look at this beautiful person. I met at that time, the first time, Lotus Naraja, who ended up becoming one of my teachers. And I was just in love, absolutely in love with seeing us, in love with the experience, in love with feeling like I could be a part of something. And that is something that has been important for me probably throughout my entire career is making sure that when I see people that are, especially if you're new and you look like me, if you're brown and you're trying to navigate this world, it's just making sure I'm a friendly face that could be available for people because it gets lonely. It can get very lonely, especially when you are in a community that is very not black, to put it frankly. And sometimes people treat you nice, but other times people really do treat you like you don't belong. So it's very important to me that when I saw dancers who were also looking like me, and especially as I got older, I wanted to make sure that I reached out, that I participated in reaching out and being a hand and giving people like ideas like, hey, this is what I did, this is where I go, this place is friendly. You may not want to go there. Um, I've been doing that for probably as long as I can remember now. And yeah, it's been quite a journey. I have seen a lot of different things. I've seen lots of wonderful things, and I've seen us included a lot more in different festivals. I've seen things go backwards where people are like, but in the end, my community, as I like to say, I feel like we love on other as much as possible, and that's always what to me in the end matters the most.
Thank you. I can say that from me, word on the street about you has been positivity. I felt that personally, but when I watch you on social media and I see you and you meet a new young dancer, you'll share her posts. I saw that recently from a hafla you were in. young lady she had on the green. You know who I'm talking about, and
Yes, I know who you're
I
talking
love
about.
that. And I love to do the same thing and sharing, saying, hey, look, here's another image you may not have seen. Here's another, and here we are. So the fact that people think belly dance is not African dance is a fallacy. It totally is. It totally is our dance. All the dances we can do. And here are the examples. And to the world we say, you're welcome. We're still here and we're not going anywhere. We're expanding. So I absolutely love that. Thank you for being a nice girl in the belly dance world. A friendly face, a hand, a resource for those who are coming up behind us, because it's enough space out there. It's enough haflas, it's enough spotlights, it's enough all of the things. So that's wonderful. So
Absolutely.
this offering we have with you this Friday is a part of our Feminine Fire Friday series, and we do a lot of different things. So we will have different artists come in. The last one we had, we did a wine and waist beads as a part of our Feminine Fire. So this Feminine
Mhm.
Fire, we're bringing you in, and it's this belly dance veil class. What does the concept of feminine fire mean to you, or what do you feel when I say that? Like, feminine fire. Like, what does that bring up for you?
Well, for me, the feminine is the fire. Let's start there because
Ashe.
everything
Yes.
everything about the feminine is fire in every way. I mean that in every way too. I mean the feminine physique is fire. Our
Yes.
attitude, the energy that we bring, the things that we do, the change that we create throughout society, throughout history, through all of time. The feminine is the fire. We are the warmth of the community. We are the strength of the community. We are everything that brings life. We are the beginning, we are the end. So for me, that is then taking that energy, manifesting it, and then letting it back out. So one of the things that really makes this even perfect with Veil, because Veil is so very alluring and it has so much energy. It can be soft, it can be wild, it can be very much what you make it. And to me, it's like watching veil, especially when you look at beautiful silk veils, it is like looking at a flame flowing through the air at times. So being able to have like a feminine fire and veil, like a perfect, perfect, perfect package together.
Yes, yes. When I see you dancing with the veil, and even in pictures, not even just the videos, but in your pictures, I can feel your story coming through. So I want to talk a little bit, or have you talk a little bit about how you translate story through your prop of the veil. Like, how do you tell stories when you dance with the veil?
Mm. Well, let's do this. I wish I had shared this and maybe I'll try to share it with everyone. Uh some point before I make it there on Friday. But there was this one routine I did, and I don't even want to say routine. There was a story that I did probably about five or so, well, no, 6, 7 years ago, where I performed with a red veil and I danced to a song called oh goodness, what's the name of it? Crawling. And it's Linkin Park, but it's called Crawling in My Skin. And it's a song about how someone struggles with being who they are. And there are times, especially as a dark skinned Black woman, that I have struggled with my image and how people see me. And sometimes people assume I'm mean, and I don't know where people get that from. But I've had people that has assumed so many things about me, that I'm mean, or people just treat me as if that I'm unattractive or whatever the things may be. And it's been something that sometimes I have taken in. And I've worked a lot through adulthood to let go of those things that came from youth and come from external factors that have been placed on me. And what I did is I had a beautiful red double veil that I used to represent me, represent my skin, the layers that I was peeling off. And the veil at the very end, I let it go. And I don't know if anyone fully understood what I was trying to say in the story, but the veil can represent so many different things. And for me at that time, it was representing a part of me that I needed to let go. Uh, One of my teachers he teaches that your veil is your wings. It is an extension of you. And even if you're telling a story, you do have to remember that everything that you do, if you have a veil, it is moving with you. And if you don't think about that and think of it as a part of yourself, it just flaps and it looks flat and it looks really sad. So telling stories is important, but understanding that it is a part of you, as long as it is in your hand, as long as it is on the stage, even if you let it go, you have to remember that it was a part of you and you have to respect that and you have to show that in every moment of your performance when you have it with you on the stage.
I love that thought of respecting the veil, respecting your prop, but it's not even a prop, it's your wings. It's an extension of you. So if you had some wings that were removable, these are my wings right here. I'm going, I'm
Yes.
not going to just throw it to the side all willy nilly or pick it up like it's a tissue. It's your veil, it's your beautiful veil. So I love that. Now, beginners who might feel a little intimidated or feel some kind of a way about, oh, I might not be ready, talk to them about how this is something that is encompassing of people of all levels. And what would you say to a beginner?
Well, do understand that this class is going to be geared towards, for the most part, beginners, but we're going to delve into things that could be used at every level. We're going to go through how to hold a veil. We're going to go through different movements and how to make sure we get the proper air in our veil. Which fingers and which positions is best to use depending on how you plan to dance with the veil. We're going to go through all of those things. And I know that might sound really remedial, but we're going to go through it in a way that will make sense to you as a beginner and be useful to you even if you're an advanced dancer. We're going to go through different movements, a couple of tricks, but really we're going to work on doing this in a way that is giving you tools that can be used in every aspect of dance. Be it belly dance, be it if you want to do burlesque, be it if you want to just dance around the house with your veil. We are going to find different ways to use it in a way that will be useful to you.
That's beautiful. I love that you said burlesque. We did a burlesque class this time last year, literally a year ago from your class. We had a burlesque class. It was so much fun. And the art of tease and, really seducing yourself on the floor, yourself in the mirror, and again, telling a story. So it's an extension of that. I also love, and in Belly Dancers of Color, we do have a really strong I would say constitution about honoring all bodies, all body sizes, all shapes, and knowing that really, if you want to dance this, then you can dance. All it really requires is that your desire to do it, and then we would do it at the capacity that we're able at that time, and then grow and put the technique on top of that. So I hear you also being very encompassing of that and recognizing that, hey, we have ladies of all ages, all shapes, all sizes, all the things, and we welcome all that. The booties, the boobies, the whole thing is a part of it. We're gonna dance the whole body, and it's fun, and it's beautiful, and it's really our birthright. It's our legacy. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward
Yes.
to this. If there are any takeaways you want to let people know, because we're not giving it all away right here, we're just giving them a little teaser to say, come to Joe's Movement Emporium this Friday. Khuzama is coming all the way from Delaware to be with us, and her color is purple, but the veils will be all colors. Yes, the
Yes.
veils will be all
Yes.
colors. We're going to be doing our thing. We'll have an opportunity to spend time with this beautiful sister and come away with an even more beautifulness to add to our dance portfolio.
Yes, and I'll just add, bring yourself, leave all your like, oh, maybe I'm not ready for this or maybe this, leave all that stuff at the door. We're going to have a good time and that's all that's really going to matter. I promise you it's going to be smooth, it's going to be enjoyable and it's going to be great.
Ashe, Ashe. I'm going to run the banner at the bottom to let people know the Veil class is this Friday. If you'd like to join us, you can get your tickets on Eventbrite, and that's bit.ly/bellydanceveil. Come on out, bring a friend. Space is limited, so this thing can sell out, okay? And you want to be in the room. You don't want to hear about it later and be like, dang, I should have gone. Come on, get in here. Early bird tickets have already sold out. So come on and join us this Friday, Joe's Movement Emporium in Mount Rainier, Maryland, for this beautiful feminine fire veil with our lovely sister. So, sis, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon.
I
And
can't wait.
oh, it's going to be magic. It's going to be pure magic. Thank you. Love you and appreciate you.